around the world. We hope you will enjoy this awesome morning with us as we share the warmth and love of our community and catch the Spirit of God. We are starting a special week as we prepare to celebrate Christmas, so let's start with some holiday spirit. As always, we invite you to sing, you can dance along. Let us open up our hearts and invite God to be with us this morning. With that, let's kick it off with our opening song.
For our opening song, in the spirit of the Christmas season, let's welcome the LA Band to sing the classic song Silent Night, sung in English, Japanese, and Korean. Let's sing along with them and prepare our hearts for this service today. Thank you for that wonderful song. Now let's head over to New Jersey to join Reverend Emeljun Rapata, the pastor of the Elizabeth Family Church, for our opening prayer.
Good morning, brothers and sisters. Welcome to our National Family Service today. Please join me in prayer. Our loving Heavenly Parent, we thank you for this wonderful day. Thank you that we are all here gathering together as you have given us a new day and alive and with our families. As we start our service today, we ask you to be with us, join us, celebrate with us, together with all families around the world. Father, at this season, we thank you for all these many things that you have given to us, all the blessings that we received from you. And I pray that we can be able to give and care for all other people as well. I pray that you can be able to heal all those who are having difficulties, those who are going through a lot this time. And I pray that everyone can enjoy this season. Father, we invite your Spirit, we invite you to join us in this celebration as we listen to your words through our President, Naokimi Ushiroda, who will be talking on the conjugal realm of heart. I pray that through these words, we can able to strengthen our relationships. And all of these words can permeate into the deepest part of our hearts, that we can be able to act on it and to model it to the rest of the world. Heavenly Parent, we would like to invite you once more, and I pray that you can be with us until the end of this celebration and until the end of this year and this season. With gratitude and with deep humility, I would like to offer this prayer in my name, Emil, Jun, and Christian Opada, as a blessed central family. Aju.
Good morning. Welcome to the National Family Service.
Our international community was founded by Father and Mother Moon, whom we call our true parents.
True parents have taken up the mission bestowed upon them by Jesus Christ to help us all reconnect and fortify our relationship with God through a deeper understanding called the Divine Principle, and by receiving the Holy Marriage Blessing.
To learn more about our community, just type #connect on the Facebook chat or sign the guest book on the nationalfamilyservice.org.
On our website, you'll find all the links you'll need for tithing, community meetups, kid resources, and more.
We'd love to hear your ideas and feedback at any time.
Just hit the send message button on our Facebook page to chat with one of our online ushers.
Thank you for joining us today. We can't wait to get connected with you.
Good morning again, everyone. Before our main sermon this morning, let us bring our offering so we can continue to support our local communities with our tithes. So to make your local tithe, visit nationalfamilyservice.org, click the drop-down button, Local Church, and go to Give. Or you can type #tithe in the Facebook chat. Today we are making our offering, so we want to continue with the festive mood. So let's enjoy some beautiful offering songs.
For our first offering song today, we have a wonderful virtual Christmas choral quartet featuring 4 singers from across the nation. Let's join Maya, Teddy, Abe, and Sarah from Arkansas, Connecticut, and Illinois in their beautiful rendition of In the Bleak Midwinter.
In the bleak midwinter, frosty wind mid-moon, earth stood hard as iron, water like a stone. Snow had fallen, snow on snow, snow on snow. In the bleak midwinter, long ago, our God hand cannot hold him, nor earth sustain. Heaven and earth shall flee away when he comes to reign. In the bleak midwinter, a stable place suffice. The Lord God Almighty, Jesus Christ. Angels and archangels may have gathered there. Cherubim and seraphim throng the air, but his mother only in her maiden bliss worshipped the beloved with a kiss. What can I give him, poor as I am, if If I were a shepherd, I would bring a lamb. If I were a wise man, I would do my part. Yet what I can I give him? Give my heart.
Thank you for that beautiful piece. For our second Christmas offering today, we'll head over to Stanton, California to hear the wonderful couple Eric and Michio offer their performance of The Christmas Shoes.
It was almost Christmas time. There I stood in another line, trying to buy the last gift or two. Not really in the Christmas mood. Standing right in front of me was a little boy waiting anxiously. Pace around like little boys do, and in his hands he held a pair of shoes. And his clothes were worn and old. He was dirty from head to toe. And when it came his time to pay, I couldn't believe what I heard him say. Sir, I wanna buy these shoes for my mama, please. It's Christmas Eve and these shoes are just her size. Could you hurry, sir? Daddy says there's not much time. You see, she's been sick for quite a while, and I know these shoes will make her smile. And I want her to look beautiful if Mama meets Jesus tonight. Counted pennies for what seemed like years. Then the cashier said, son, there's not enough here. He searched his pockets frantically, and then he turned and he looked at me. He said, Mama made Christmas good at her house, though most years we just did without. Tell me, sir, what am I gonna do? Somehow I've gotta buy her these Christmas shoes. So I laid the money down. I just had to help him out. And I'll never forget the look on his face when he said, Mama's gonna look so great. Sir, I wanna buy these shoes for my mama, please. It's Christmas Eve and these shoes are just her size. Could you hurry, sir? Daddy says there's not much time. You see, she's been sick for quite a while, and I know these shoes will make her smile. And I want her to look beautiful if Mama meets Jesus tonight. Christmas is all about. Sir, I wanna buy these shoes for my mama, please. It's Christmas Eve and these shoes are just her size. Could you hurry, sir? Daddy says there's not much time. You see, she's been sick for quite a while, and I know these shoes will make her smile. And I want her to look beautiful if Mama meets Jesus tonight. tonight.
Wow, wasn't that great? That was great seeing collaboration from all around the country. So thank you. And thank you also, brothers and sisters, for your offerings. And now it is my pleasure to welcome our Family Federation President in America, Naokimi Ushiroda, for our main message today. Welcome, Naokimi.
Hi, Shiska. Thanks for having me. And good morning, brothers and sisters. Thanks for joining us. Merry Christmas, happy holidays. It is such a nice season to be able to join together like this on this Sunday morning. So I'd like to start with reviewing just a little bit from last week. We covered the siblings realm of heart, and just want to emphasize how important that is as a foundation for each of the other realms, that really we can practice respecting our elders, caring for our youngers, and also in terms of our peers, seek to acknowledge people's strengths and compensate for their weaknesses. So here in the Heavenly Parents Holy Community, I just want to remind everyone that really our overall vision is to honor God as and relate with God as a heavenly parent, both as a father figure and a mother figure, and also to be able to experience God's love in our family in these realms of heart. So over the past few weeks, we covered the children's realm and siblings realm, and today we're going to focus on the conjugal realm, or the love between husband and wife. And then next week, we'll go into the final and fourth realm, which is the parental realm. So the conjugal realm of heart is the third of the four realms of heart. And let's start with some guidance from Scripture about this unique marital love. I'm going to read from Ephesians 5:33. However, each one of you also must love his wife as he loves himself, and the wife must respect her husband. Okay, simple enough. Husbands should love their wives, and wives should also respect their husbands. But as you know, it's not always easy. There are challenges with this love. I'm going to read another quote. Says, when an individual insists upon and practices freedom of love without responsibility, how much confusion and destruction takes place. Achieving the highest ideal of human love is possible only when one takes responsibility for love. This was a message from Father Moon back in February of 1996. Okay, so the question comes back, what is love? And I know that in society, love can be very vague in terms of what that is. So I looked it up in the dictionary, and this is just from an online dictionary. It says an intense feeling of deep affection. So, which is great. I mean, that kind of, if you look at the movies and stories, love is all about this kind of intense feeling of emotional affection. But one challenge with that definition of love is that, well, what happens when you don't feel that anymore? Usually back in the day, they used to make vows, till death do you part. But, with this kind of definition of love, it's like till I don't feel that love anymore, shall we part? In other words, if it's just based on feelings, feelings tend to go up and down, left and right all the time. If love is based on something that is so fluctuating and fleeting, then there's no guarantee of consistency or commitment or eternity in terms of love. So I want to go into a deeper definition of love, which is heart. Heart is the irrepressible impulse to seek joy through giving and receiving love. This is from Unification Thought, and this concept of heart is really beautiful. It's saying that we all have, and actually that it comes from God, we all have this innate desire to give and receive love. And the more that we actually tap into that eternal source of love, of this heart, the more we're actually rooted in this more eternal kind of committed love, rather than a fleeting sense of emotion. So learning from that as a base, I want to go into what is unique about this third realm of heart, the conjugal realm of heart. Again, we have 4 realms. There's a children, siblings, conjugal, and parental. So this third realm, what is unique about the love between a husband and wife? I want to share 3 points on this. The first one is that conjugal love is meant to be exclusive. So this is really important. Okay, these days, people go in and out of relationships. Marriages may not last. People get remarried. And again, no judgment. That's just the reality of what we see around us. But the difference of this conjugal realm versus the other realms is that it's meant to be exclusive, meant to be just for that one person. I can't emphasize this enough. In children's love, you have your parents, your elders, you can love, all kinds of those figures. In siblings realm, starting with your siblings, you also can practice with your peers, acquaintances, and as parents, you can also love the different children and also any other nephews, nieces, other kids in the neighborhood. You can practice parental realm. But when it comes to the conjugal realm, there should only be one. There should be only one person that you can pour all of your love and heart into as your eternal spouse. There's a message here, a quote from Father Moon back in 2005. The relationship between husband and wife is different from that between parent and child or among siblings because it does not start out as a bond of blood. The husband-wife relationship contains infinite and inexhaustible treasures. Once formed in the presence of God, the bond of husband and wife is meant to be absolute, and the two should become inseparable for eternity. Inseparable for eternity. That sounds like a long time, but really that was how this realm of heart was. And she asked me, if she could talk with me after class. So of course I was like, I thought she was gonna talk and ask me about some kind of lab homework that we need to do together. So after class, she pulled me aside, and then she basically asked me if I could go to the prom with her. I was shocked. This came from left field, so I had no idea, no clue that this was coming. So the initial reaction was, I said to her, I need to ask my parents. That was my initial reaction. I couldn't think of anything else at the moment. So she explained, she saw my kind of shock in my response. So she explained that, don't worry, I already spoke with my parents. If money is a problem, they're willing to pay for your prom ticket as well. So I said, okay, I'll get back to you. This was a Friday, so I told her I'll get back to you on Monday. And then I quickly walked down the hall, kind of escaping the situation. And then as I turned the corner, I was surrounded by 6 of her friends, seniors. Oh yeah, that's another thing. She was a senior and I was a junior at that time. And they started interrogating me, like, what did you say? You know, something like that. Fortunately, one of the ladies were my best friend's older sister. So she kind of said, let him go. So I quickly, briskly walked down the rest of the hallway. Anyway, I went home really kind of not knowing what to do. So being a logical type of guy, I pulled out my list and I started to list out, pros and cons of the situation. I was like, well, some of the pros is that I would get mad props from my friends because, as a junior being asked out to the senior prom would get a lot of street cred. And I felt like, it would be a new experience. Nothing bad would happen. I had my own strong set of values. She's also Christian, so all those things I felt, would be okay. Then the cons. Number one, I knew my parents would not let me go for sure. And also the other thought that came was, although I might be able to be fine in this situation, I felt like this could set a precedent for my younger siblings. So anyway, I was kind of half and half. So I decided, I didn't actually talk to my parents. I went to the prayer room and I kind of offered a prayer asking God, what should I do? And it was interesting. The immediate thought that came up was that it wasn't like this judgment of, absolutely yes or no, but it was more like the thought that occurred was, I want to have my first dance with my spouse, with my future spouse. I don't know, it might have been the romantic side in me or not, but anyway, that thought occurred. So immediately I said, okay, so maybe not this time. And as I decided that, the next feeling that came up was, what can I tell her? She went through so much to kind of, have to muster the courage to ask me. She told her parents, persuaded them to pay for the ticket. All her friends know about it. I mean, I felt terrible. Like if I were to say no, how would she feel in this kind of situation? So I really struggled about that second part. So Monday came after bio class. I ended up, asking if I could talk with her afterwards. And we went to the library and I spent the next 3 hours just like explaining the whole history of how, our culture, my faith background, and how, that's why, I'm not able to accept her invitation to go to the prom. So she was really grateful that I took the time to explain everything instead of just kind of blowing her off. And fortunately, someone else invited her that same night to go to the prom. So anyway, that was just one story. And fast forward 4 years, I did get engaged. And I remember for our college, in our college senior prom, I was able to go out with my wife and have our first dance. So that was really nice. I was able to fulfill on that intention long ago. So yeah, love is meant to be really exclusive, especially in this realm. And I want to encourage for those who are already in relationships that you recommit to keeping it. This includes like not looking at other women or, even the challenge of pornography, all those things we want to really focus on and strengthen our heart to commit to an exclusive relationship with our spouses. Okay, so the second unique aspect of the conjugal realm of heart is that you can experience all 4 realms of heart with your spouse, all 4. So not just one, but all 4. let's look at this passage here. It is a realm of the absolute subject and object partners in the four great realms of heart. The wife sees in her husband the ideal heavenly son, heavenly older brother, heavenly husband and father. Let's continue. To the husband, his wife possesses the corresponding absolute qualities as the ideal heavenly daughter, heavenly sister, heavenly wife, and mother. This was from Father Moon back in 2005. So what this says is that, we're meant to experience all these realms of heart, all four realms of heart, in our relationship with our spouse. So quick story, again, soon after we got engaged, I remember, asking my wife, like, could you cut my hair? And she thought it was odd. She was like, well, just go to the barber. But I insisted, and I was like, I want you, not the barber, I want you to cut my hair. So in the end, she agreed, and she cut my hair a few times. It didn't come out so well the first few times, and I think she was more distressed than me of the outcome. But I was like, it's okay, it doesn't look that bad. Later on, I ended up going back to the barber. But anyway, it was important for me that she cut my hair. And another thing I remember early on is I asked her, could you, clean my ears? And she outright refused. She thought it was very strange that I would make such a request. And because she reacted in that way, I had to reflect, why does this seem abnormal to her? And then I realized, why was I asking these things? I realized that these were the same things my mom used to do for me. My mom would always cut my hair. She would always clean my ears. And that's how I would experience my mom's love. And I wanted to experience that love through my wife as well. So similarly, as husband and wife, we're meant to experience, being a mom or a parent to each other, a sibling to each other, a child towards each other. And it's meant to be this expansive realm where every kind of relationship you've accumulated in your life, you're able to experience together with your spouse. One thing I recommend, and also we were able to do, was to do something that you enjoy together. So back in the college times, I was able to, we were in different schools. I was at UPenn, she was at Barnard, and we ended up joining the same Taekwondo team. I mean, not the same, but we ended up joining the Taekwondo team in each of our respective schools, and we were in the same kind of team, not the, what do you call it? Anyway, we competed against each other. Our schools were in the same league, so we competed against each other. But I remember like really feeling so excited to train her. And I remember that year that she joined, she got the most improved student award. And I was so proud of her. So yeah, that's kind of like experiencing a sibling's realm of heart with each other. And I encourage, all spouses to find something that you can enjoy doing together and be able to experience this kind of siblings realm together. Okay, so, and finally, going back to is the third aspect of uniqueness of the conjugal love is this, this love relationship in the bedroom. And yeah, I'm going to keep this PG-13, but basically what I want to say about this is that really to experience or to be able to invite God into that experience, it's really important to seek spiritual connection over physical and prioritize, giving love or giving pleasure over seeking to receive. And by consciously, inviting God into that experience, it will elevate your sense of intimacy, connection, and sanctity of that. You know, in societies, sexual love is seen as something very shameful, something very dirty. And with all the pornography around, it's really been that love between husband and wife has been really degraded between man and woman. But really, sexual love was meant to be the holiest of holies, and it's meant to be a place where God could dwell. So I really want to encourage everyone to invest in this area as well, to really resemble God as much as you can by, again, connecting in heart and emotion more than physical. Again, both are important, but seek to connect in heart, and also really seeking to give pleasure rather than seeking to receive it in that intimacy. And again, it will transform your experience in the bedroom. So going to a quote, couples who become one in mind and body and perfect the husband and wife's realm of heart manifest God's joy. This is Father Moon. Again, if God created us, you know, that means he created love. He also created these relationships. He wanted to be part of this, all of our love relationships, all the forms of heart, and especially this conjugal realm of heart, such intimacy, such stimulation, but all centered on this kind of giving and exciting and connection of heart. That's what love was meant to be like between husband and wife. So a quick tips for the husband. Do the chores, listen to your wives, connect to their hearts, address all concerns that they may have in their minds, and try to treat each night as your first night. Instead of rushing, we tend to take it for granted that we're already close or intimate. But if you really treat each night as your first night, then it'll be exciting and really stimulating each time. And I'm saying all this knowing that I need to take my own advice. I confess, I'm still working on these things and I don't always remember or practice these things, but this is just for me as much as for all the husbands out there. And just one request to the wives, please embrace your husbands despite their imperfections, especially in the bedroom. And I promise you, they will go above and beyond to be better husbands if you do that. And finally, I want to connect, because it is the season of Christmas and really reflecting on the birth of Jesus that's coming up on Christmas Day. I want to talk a little bit about, Jesus's heart, longing heart, and also God's longing heart for our true parents. So let's read a few passages and I'll elaborate a little bit. The first human beings lost this standard due to the fall. Hence, without recovering it, everything in the world is in vain. Therefore, the only begotten Son and the only begotten daughter on God's side must establish the realm of conjugal love as husband and wife. Again, this was from Father Moon, January 1986. So this is basically reiterating the fact that, from the very beginning, God simply wanted Adam and Eve to mature in heart and to be able to love each other and start a family centered on this true love. But the problem was they entered into this relationship prematurely. So instead of having their spirit subject over their body, or giving subject over receiving, it was reversed. It became self-centered love, centered on the physical body, centered on taking rather than giving. And that was the problem, was that from the very beginning, love was lost. True love was lost. and the rest of human history is a result of that. So when Jesus was called, really what God wanted was to restart God's family centered on this true love. So let's read the next passage. For Jesus to fulfill his purpose in his lifetime, he needed to find his bride. But he was not able to do so. That is why he left the concept, I am the bridegroom and you are the bride, as his last testament. It's very interesting. What Father Moon is saying is that that actually Jesus was meant to marry, to get married. As we know through history, he had to go the way of the cross. He was able to really establish his identity as the Son of God by being absolutely one in heart, in faith, love, and obedience with God. So he was able to set that center. And in one sense, he really restored this realm of a true kind of children's realm of love. He also was able to establish this true siblings realm of love, where he established the highest quality of love, where he was able to love not only all people, but even his enemies, the people who were crucifying him. He was begging God for forgiveness to still love them. So he was able to establish this true siblings realm of heart, where he was able to love his enemies. However, because of the crucifixion, he was unable to get married and experience this conjugal realm and even this parental realm. He couldn't have his own children because, again, he was crucified. So according to our understanding here at the Heavenly Parents Holy Community, we believe that what God truly wanted Jesus to do was to actually get married, create a family, and restart a lineage here on earth where all of God's children could experience this true love in their families. Let's go to the final slide. The final quote. Jesus said that he was God's only begotten Son and that God was his Father. That claim indicates that as an individual, he had received God's first love. Although God came to have his only begotten Son, Jesus, he did not yet have his only begotten daughter. Jesus was unable to find her. Thus, Jesus must return to meet God's only begotten daughter, who can totally receive God's first love. Let's continue on. That is why, next slide, that is why the Lord at his second advent must celebrate the marriage supper of the Lamb, and that is, he is required to marry. Let's continue on to next slide. This man who completely received God's first love must marry a woman who completely receives God's first love, and they must start a family together, thus restoring the positions of unfallen Adam and Eve. So, brothers and sisters, really, our core beliefs are rather simple. God wanted Adam and Eve to enter into a love relationship centered on God and centered on true love. Because that was lost, all of history, God was trying to resend a child that could stand in an absolute position as a true son to God. And then because of the crucifixion, Jesus had to extend his mission. And in fact, in 1920, or I guess 1936, Jesus appeared to Father Moon to ask him to continue his mission. He was able to establish a certain foundation through his absolute faith and love for God and for people, but to continue to fulfill God's original dream of establishing the kingdom of heaven on earth. How do we actually do that? We need to actually experience and manifest God's love substantially in our families. That was the goal. And that's why when Father Moon received that that mission, he really set the standard to also inherit from Jesus, to become a true son himself. And he had to find a true daughter, a daughter where, as you can see in our image, Mother Moon, we believe, really stood in that position to set the standard of loving God absolutely, absolute faith, love, and obedience to God's will. And together in 1960, they were able to fulfill the next level of restoring true conjugal love as husband and wife, and thereby leading into what we call true parentism, being a true parent to all humanity by sharing the blessing of marriage to all. So that's really the crux of it. And, imagine how God must have felt towards Jesus as his only son, only begotten son, to have to go through that kind of suffering, and also not being able to experience the fullness of the four realms of heart. And how much both Jesus and God must have felt love and longing for Father and Mother Moon for taking on this mission, carry on Jesus's legacy, to fulfill God's original dream to create and establish the kingdom of heaven through blessed families. This is really what our community is about. And I want to remind every one of our families, blessed families, that this is what we're doing here. We're here to help contribute to building the kingdom of heaven on earth by loving our families as God would. And it starts with really loving your spouse, really appreciating them as God would. And let's do a final recap. So in this conjugal realm of heart, 3 points. Make sure to love your spouse exclusively. This is important, really important in this conjugal realm. And seek to experience all four realms of heart together with your spouse. And number 3 is to invite God into your bedroom by prioritizing spirit over body and giving over receiving when you're intimately relating with your spouse. And for singles out there, make sure to prepare your hearts to be able to fully love your future spouse exclusively, expansively, and together with God. And know that all of the other realms of heart is preparation for you to be able to love your spouse fully. So with that said, I'd like to leave you with a reflection question and some challenges. How can I love my spouse through all four realms of heart this week? And if you're single, how can I prepare myself to love my future spouse? That's the reflection. And the challenge for the week is please express appreciation to your spouse and or serve them every day of the week. Singles, again, you can serve someone else as practice. And number 2 is watch an episode of morning devotion together with your spouse. So with that said, I know it was a lot that we covered today, but in short, please love each other, really from God's perspective. And also let us really honor Jesus for his sacrifice, and also for God for his long-suffering heart of really trusting and believing that we as God's children can eventually create this kingdom of heaven on earth through creating families where he can dwell. Thank you, everyone. Have an amazing week, and we'll see you again next time.
Thank you, Naokimi, for another great message today. I know everyone learned a lot about that realm of heart, and we're just so grateful. So thank you. So let's take another moment to reflect on the question President Naokimi asked us today. So the question is, how can I love my spouse through all four realms of heart this week? And if you're single, how can I prepare myself to love my future spouse? So as we're reflecting on these questions, let's actually hear some live reflections as well. So I'd like to invite up Reverend and Mrs. Patton, directors of the Southeast, and Pastor Crescentia and Leighton Degody, District Pastor of District 3, to share their thoughts with us. So hi, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. I guess for me, I'll just start with something that stood out to me. Something that came up for me when I reflect on the topic of the conjugal heart is just how important it is to constantly invest in that relationship. I know for myself, I have a husband and we have 2 kids, and I think it's just so easy to overall just get caught up in the everyday busyness of life and then not take the time to intentionally serve and to show love to my husband. And even though I feel like sometimes I am, because I'm like cooking and I'm, cleaning constantly, but it's not being super intentional and going out of my way to maybe like get him a gift or do something out of the normal routine. And so anyways, as I was listening to President Naokimi's talk about this topic, it just made me think like, okay, I have to do more than just on Thanksgiving and Christmas and just on his birthday. But I need to invest in it constantly to strengthen it. And so I'll definitely have a lot to work on this week for the challenge of the week and stuff. So anyways, so that's from me. How about you, Reverend Patton? What came up for you?
Well, thank you, Shizuka. And to me, that was a very powerful sermon. It really honors at this time of year, the birth of Jesus, but looking at it from the perspective, what did God really expect after the birth of Jesus? And that amazing experience of conjugal love, the only begotten Son and the only begotten daughter, restoring the heart and the mission of the unfallen Adam and Eve. And a little bit later, President Ushiroda was talking about the infinite treasures and the heart of love, the conjugal love, that just as God's love is infinite, our love as husband and wife can be infinite and eternally exciting. So for me, these are key points that lead us all to really the purpose of this season, which is for all of us to be able to live in the kingdom of heaven. And this presentation really, to me, explains very clearly we need each other. We need all 4 realms of heart, and we clearly need our spouse, but not just a need, but it's actually a joyful experience and celebration. A wonderful beginning.
Yeah, thank you. Those are some great points for sure. What about you, Mrs. Patton, the other half?
Thank you so much, and very deep sermon. I will practice the 3-point, and also that sometimes I feel that my husband and my youngest brother and friend and my son, if like that, I can forgive easy. But if I think about the husband, it's really, the different culture. So really, our conjugal relationship is what's not so easy, big challenge. But we so appreciate, and Dr. Yon's the really deep the teaching, and also the president Naokimi-san's the teaching, and I'm so grateful. I have a hope. Also, I will try to think about he's my heavenly son and the heavenly husband, and also he's a God's son and the princess and the God's royal family. So if I believe this, our conjugal relationship is better. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. I feel like that's some really good points, definitely, just to see from different perspectives. Maybe sometimes that's just like a husband, it's easier to get like, I don't know, maybe angry or something like that. But if you see him in a different perspective, then your heart can change too in that way. So that's a really good point. So thank you. Now moving over to Pastor Crescentia and Leighton, what came up for you?
Well, I'm really grateful for this message from our President Naokimi. Actually, for Leighton and I, President Naokimi is also our elder brother. We grew up hearing from him, as we were in workshops and different settings. and we were reflecting that he actually was one of the first older brothers that we heard talk about the conjugal relationship with his wife. And I remember just being so
blown away.
Wow, there's this dynamic that's possible in a relationship between a husband and wife. And this is when we were single and just preparing or thinking about marriage in the future. Now we're 10 years married.
Oh yeah, professional. Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, I don't think so. And I was so grateful to hear from him, and kind of see what's possible. That what really struck me at that time, and he repeated it today in his message, is that, to experience the fullness of the joy that God wants for us to have in a marriage, we actually need to live for the sake of each other.
Absolutely.
We need to be more concerned about our experience of joy or pleasure, in the conjugal relationship than our own. But if we do that, actually, then we can experience joy ourselves, and God experiences joy.
Yeah.
So that's something, as our relationship has gone on, that the more I practice that, even especially when it's challenging, if I can be more mindful of what's gonna, like Leighton's love language and, just kind of what makes him happy. I noticed too, President Alkimi said, ladies or wives, if you can, what did he say? Forgive or embrace your husband's imperfections. But let your husband not be.
Embrace your husband despite imperfections.
Oh yeah, that's it. And I have been working on that, and then he said, if you do that, your husband. What was his line? Your husband.
He will go above and beyond to make you happy.
That's right. And I support that 100%. That has been my experience with Leighton.
It was funny how right before that he's like, tips for husbands. Do the chores. And then Cassandra rolls her eyes. Oh no, I roll my eyes and she starts laughing.
And I start laughing. I'm like, yep.
But absolutely, I resonate with you, Shizuka. It's really true. There's so much joy, and Reverend Patton too. I'm so grateful we have eternal life and the infinite experience of discovering my wife more and more, because absolutely, it's just such an incredible realm. I was actually moved. I hadn't really put together, because I'd heard it before, the concept that you can experience all realms of heart in the conjugal realm of heart. But now it's like, I don't know, it makes it even more profound. Like, wow, I want to actually go and experience it more, like intentionally. I want to go and explore those realms of heart within my relationship with Crescentia. And yeah, I don't know. It's just really, really thank you for the sermon today, Pastor Alkimi. So. And
I'm also so grateful to Father and Mother Moon for giving us an example of true love in the husband-wife relationship. Especially they're incredibly public figures, and yet whenever they were together, we saw them kissing and hugging and complimenting each other, and even when they were apart, they'd call each other up. So we have such a great example in Father and Mother Moon, and it gives us something to strive for as a couple. So I also really appreciated that biblical perspective that President Alkimi took us to, which is really remembering what was lost, in the beginning, and what Jesus, attempted to restore, and now what we have thanks to Father and Mother Moon, which is this incredible example and freedom to explore this relationship. So super grateful. Thank you. Yeah.
Yep.
No, thank you. You guys covered some really good points, and I think you guys are going to be hanging out a lot and doing a lot. Maybe for this new year, you'll have some good resolutions and stuff like that. But thank you so much, everybody, for your comments and your reflections. I think this is a really fun way of doing this and discussing what we learned all together. So thank you. So before we close, let's remind ourselves of our challenge of the week. So for our first challenge, the first challenge is to express appreciation to your spouse and or serve them every day of the week. And for people that are single, then you will just go out and find someone to serve, which every single day also. And our second challenge is to watch an episode of Morning Devotion with your spouse. So Dr. Young has been doing some amazing messages in the morning, and I know that's been really powerful for myself. So If you have the time, please go out with your spouse and to watch it together. And as you complete the challenge this week, we'd love to hear your experience with it. You can share with us on Family Fed Facebook, and who knows, we may even feature your story next on National Family Service. So thank you all again. I'm looking forward to working on my challenge this week, and I hope you are too. But before we close, I'd like to congratulate all the Ilsham graduates that are completing the program today. Ilsham means One Heart and is one of the core programs for youth where they can learn more deeply about our traditions and continue on their journey to develop their rounds of heart. So all are welcome to join the graduation today.
So do you want to know the secret to the success of this year's online Ilsham program? The parents and the kids. This year, we revamped the whole program to be focusing much more on the relationship between parents and kids. We even had special sessions for parents to just have education and give and take with one another. That's the first time we've ever done that before. But probably my favorite thing to come out of this is to look at the pictures of the parents and the kids reading Divine Principle together, watching lectures together, going on walks together. This is really where the magic happens. So we're celebrating 173 graduates tonight at 7:30 p.m. Eastern, and we want to invite all of you to be a part of it. We know that Ilsham represents an important milestone in a young person's life of faith, where they're claiming their identity and ready to take a certain level of ownership in their life of faith. So please join us. You can go to yayam.familyfed.org/Ilsham to meet us tonight.
Let's head over to Omaha, Nebraska to join Catherine Anglin of the TribeNet team for our closing prayer.
Good morning, brothers and sisters. Please join me in prayer. Our most beloved Heavenly Parents, thank you so much for the experience to be together this Sunday morning. We know that we have so much to be grateful for, even in these difficult times. We have the opportunity to stay in our homes and to be with our families and to be with you and maybe spend an extra few minutes with you each day. We know that connecting with you and understanding your heart and seeing from your perspective makes everything around us change. We see our husbands and our wives differently. We see our children in a whole new light. We see our neighbors as our true brothers, and we're so grateful for our true parents who have brought us the Divine Principle to explain this to us, that we can see from your perspective and we can see you as our parent. We want to really practice what our president, now Kimi, shared today about committing to our spouses. This is what's going to create incredible communities, incredible cities, a nation, and overall, hopefully an incredible world when we can really build a great foundation with our spouse and then build an incredible family that is full of love, full of your love, Heavenly Parent. We thank you so much as we head into this holiday season to remember all that we have. I know it's really easy when things are difficult to see what we don't have, but we really all do have so much, and we want to share that with others and uplift others this holiday season. We thank you so much for everything, and I'd like to report and offer this prayer in the name of Jordan and Catherine Anglin, a blessed and true family. Aju.
And for our closing song, we're excited to feature a special Christmas collaboration coordinated by Mark Hanlon from Massachusetts. This wouldn't have been possible without the participating families and musicians from all over the nation coming together to sing the Christmas classic, the Christmas song. Enjoy and Merry Christmas.
Chestnuts roasting on an open fire, Jack Frost nipping at your nose.
Yuletide carols being sung by a choir, folks dressed up like Eskimos.
Everybody knows a turkey and some mistletoe help to make the season bright.
Tiny tots with their eyes all aglow will find it hard to sleep tonight.
They know that Santa's on his way. He's loaded lots of toys and goodies on his sleigh. Every mother's child is gonna spy to see if reindeer really know how to fly. And so I'm offering this simple phrase to kids from 1 to 92. Though it's been said many times, many ways, joyeux Noël to you. And so I'm offering this simple phrase to kids from 1 to 92.
Although it's been said many times, many ways, Merry Christmas to you.
Thank you all for joining us today. As always, we hope you can join your community meetups after the service. To find an online meetup near you, visit nationalfamilyservice.org and click on Local Church to get the local meetups. If you've enjoyed this experience with us today, we'd love your support. You can type #coffee in the Facebook chat or visit nationalfamilyservice.org and click the Give a Coffee button to support this ministry for the price of a cup of coffee. Brothers and sisters, again, thank you for spending your Sunday morning together with us. I hope you enjoyed it. Have a great week. Merry Christmas, and we'll see you next Sunday here at the National Family Service. God bless you.
Sound